Hello, and good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are, from anywhere within the world. My name is Augustine, and I'm here to give another broadcast. And my normal broadcasts usually takes place on Mondays, Wednesdays, and on Fridays. And before I begin, I want to say thank you very much to a lot of my subscribers that have subscribed recently, and for all those of my subscribers also that has kept in touch with most of my videos. Now, the TBC is a community, and there are several things going on within the TBC community. There are the full-timers who are recruiting, and there are also people who are educating. You see, coming to think of it, in the TBC community, the bulk of the people in the community are ignorant. I can refer to them as ignorant folks. Now, it hasn't been so long since we finished our broadcasters meeting. And while we were in the broadcasters meeting, there were a number of things that were made open to us as community members, as broadcasters. One of the things I picked out of there is that the TBC community is actually going for real mass adoption next year. And that mass adoption is something that you should prepare yourself for. And it's not about cajoling anybody. Now, lest I forget, the title of my broadcast for today is TBC Broadcasters. Get prepared against the wrath of the media and the global elites come year 2020. Now, I'm going to be like I've always been saying, I hope I don't get carried away in my explanations, but I'll try to limit my time to 30 minutes, 30, 25, 30, 35 minutes, and so help me God. So, back to what I was saying. In the broadcasters meeting, like I said, we're going for mass adoption. There had been a number of things that the administration had explained to us that would take place. There will be some expansions that will take place within the TBC community, and it will be an excellent expansion. In fact, at this point, we have all seen that the TBC community is making some serious progress. Now, I'm going to share my screen and then I'll start talking. Okay, good one there. The broadcasting meeting was good one. Okay, so let me share my screen before I go into the details of what I have for today. And now I think my screen is being shared. Now let's quickly go into the meeting of now. Now today, this is today's send button meeting. Now, in the send button meeting of today, I wouldn't want to say so much about all these. No, on your own, you could take your time to look through them. It has already been explained by Videric. Now, on your own, you could take your time to look into this. These are full-timers. These are heavy hitters. And by the day, the heavy hitters are growing. That means we are really making some progress. Now, the administration has taken good note of India. Indians are really doing a great job. They've gotten about 1,200 and I think 80 people. It's a welcome development. Now, on your own, I'm sure this particular, just a few things. The admin said, from now, I will not be allowing billionaire zone coins in a single day. Now, this particular clause or this particular sentence makes you understand that it's now still very easy to get TBC. It is still get TBC. That's the sincere truth. Very soon, it's going to be very difficult to get TBC. And that time is very close. So if you are listening to me, you should consider adding some TBCs to what you have. You may think you're having one TBC, you're fine. You're having two TBCs, you're fine. You're having three TBCs, you're fine. I want you to understand that there are so many people in the community who have much more than you have. And these are the people that will contribute effectively to the changing of the world, helping to eradicate poverty when we get to our economy phase. A good number of us may be thinking our economy phase will take so long before we get there. No, in less than a few years from now. It may not even be up to a year. We may get to our billionaire phase by next year. And you may think that that's not possible. Well, let's see how it goes. Now, I'm actually particularly concerned on the billionaires. You should consider adding some more coins to what you have. Not the free ones that the administration is giving. Because when you make conscious efforts to pay for something, that thing will mean a lot to you. Yes, the administration yesterday gave out one TBC to everybody who paid fee. If you go into your Kringle Cash, let me go to my Kringle Cash and let me see something. Now, if you go into your Kringle Cash, these Indians are doing a great job. This is for Kringle Payday has expired. If you are still waiting for your Kringle Payday rewards, please be patient. We are still processing. Now, one thing you should bear in mind is between now and another 1-2 days from now, you should receive your TBC in your account, because we have come into the point of instant reward, which is cookie rewards, Kringle rewards. Now, previously, when you come to this place, you will see something concerning cookies. It has gone. Now, it clearly means everything has been automated. Now, those of us who has followed up on the blog, I think it was yesterday, the administration had put it is no more cookie rewards, it is Kringle rewards. So that clearly means that those people who are patiently or impatiently waiting and are really angry and saying that the cookies admin has removed it and all that, please don't be confused. The administration has automated everything. Anytime you choose to pay your admin fee, if you have cookies that were there, those cookies are going to automatically come into your account as Kringles when it is time. And that will be about an hour or two from when you pay your admin fee. Now, the system will be like, it will be like the free gift. No, in the free gift, when you pay your admin fee, you get a free gift of about 250 cookies. It's very likely going to be the same. You know, as soon as you make a purchase of $100 and you do a transaction verification, you automatically get one whole TBC. That's how it happens. And that is after you have done a transaction verification. Please take note of it. If you do not do a transaction verification, you are not getting any cookies. You are getting what? Nothing. You only get those Kringles that you purchased. But if you want to get a TBC, then if it's $100, then you get one TBC. You should also know, let's return back to this place. I'm still at this place. I'm yet to get there. You should also know that the promotion is still on. This promotion is going to expire at the end of 31st of December 2019. So the administration advises that everybody who has not made any benefit should do well to have at least a little chunk of the coins that the administration is distributing. Now, even a brand new member can become a TBC millionaire on just on their first day in TBC through rapid rewards and admin credits for free. Now, if you look into this particular content, it is for free. But now, I want you to understand that that free is like paying forward for you as an individual. A time shall come, and that time will be dependent on how active you are in the community. I've been saying this thing again and again. Anytime I come live, I always refer to this particular content. Yes, on this private. Now, we have been prohibited to make it public. It is not supposed to be. But at least we haven't broken the rules to have shown the public to take out time to study the information here. If you are having TBC, one TBC and above, let your responsibility be to study this particular thing. I have studied it 7 times, from the beginning to the end, 7 times, and I'm still studying it because I want to have a proper understanding. If you are someone that is not meticulous in studying, you wouldn't be qualified to hold the TBC billionaire position. Now, look at the choice of words administration used. He said, even a brand new member can become a TBC millionaire. Why not a billionaire? Now, it's a question that you should think about. He was deliberate in saying a millionaire. Now, what does that mean? It clearly means that you can decide to benefit from 4 grains of gold to even 36 grains of gold. But if you decide to enter into 40 grains of gold, which is approximately $100, then that means the responsibility of will begin to play out. I want you to please take what I'm saying seriously. I know I'm still with my topic that TBC billionaires should get ready for the wrath of the media and the global elites. But I'll do well to quickly explain this, then I move in extension or in full details into my topic. Now, study the 2019 promo carefully. Now, it was from my studying of the promo that I was made to understand that a brand new member can become a TBC millionaire without much responsibility. But for the TBC billionaires, there is a responsibility, a very, very sharp and a strong responsibility, because you are a builder. If you choose to be a TBC billionaire, you are a builder. If you are not a TBC billionaire, then you are not a builder. All those people who benefited, let's go back. All those people who benefited in the promotion of yesterday, the administration was this is a kind of audit. He showed us the details of people who has been making payments. Yesterday, it was 10,662. Those who made renewals were 6,209. Now, please, I want us to take note of this information. Everybody who has at least one TBC. Now, the TBC billionaires are now plus 10,662. And I also want you to understand that it looks like this thing is generating reasonable revenue for the administration to build a formidable organization. Now, please, I want us to take note of this information. Everybody who has at least one TBC now plus 10,662 are now plus 10,662. issue. So I'm back online. So sorry about the challenge. Now let me go back to where I was. Sorry for the interruption. My sincere apologies. Now back to what I was saying. I was talking about again. But then let's go back to where I was. Now I was talking about, I think I had already addressed this particular paragraph. Now I was talking about the strength of the broadcasters within. Now I said that our ability to three times in a week, 30 minutes, maybe 35 minutes, and then raise a reasonable number of audience that will ask several questions on the live stage. Now, these broadcasters are there to educate the TBC community. We are all aware about, I think this one has timed out. Okay, it's still on. We are all aware about the English send button meeting. Now, this English send button meeting, sorry, yes, English Bitcoin bounty. Now, someone has gotten 131, someone has gotten 52, and all that, and we're in number. Now, when we quickly go to previous ones, this was the one of yesterday. It ended yesterday. 303, this is 232, this is 200, and then our total number of contestants is 856. Now, the question is, all these people who are coming into the TBC community, educated are they within the TBC community? How educated are these people within the TBC community? Or they are just coming in and all their interest is to become a TBCian and have at least one TBC. Do you think that's enough? In my own opinion, I doubt if that is enough. The TBC community is what we call a system of global awakening. What are we getting awake from? We are awakening from the enslavement that the elite has put us into for several hundreds of years, possibly 100 and something years. Now, if you can sit back and check history, I think we could check it out together. Um, could check it out together. When was the Federal Reserve Fund? I don't know why I'm having. Oh, come on. Come on. My okay. Now, I was talking about when was the Federal Reserve created? The Federal Reserve was created 23rd December 1913. Now, the question I'll ask is why was it that it was created 23rd December 1913? It was because the Americans went on a holiday, and it was a very subtle way for them to sneak into Congress, and then they had to sign it into law. Now, the system that we are all existing on has already been built, and it has been built on deception. And up until tomorrow, it is still deception that the world system is using. And they are also using a system of oppression to oppress you. And they force you to believe a thing, even though in your own understanding, you look at it and you're like, is this thing actually true? But you see, they have built all systems, such as the education system, the health system, they've built in the law system to make you believe. And ever since you've been believing those systems, it has been working. But has it benefited you in any way? No. The system was designed to make sure that only those who built it are the ones that will benefit. Now, let's go into the TBC billionaires. The TBC billionaires are the people that will call you and then talk you out of that level of understanding. Because I can say the bulk of humanity are sincerely in a sleep. They are really sleeping. And it is the TBC billionaires, sorry, TBC broadcasters that can bring these people out. And how do they go about it? Like making regular shows like the one I'm making. Consistently have, and then they ask you questions, you answer their questions. They ask you some very technical questions, you give them some very technical answers. And as they are asking those questions and you are giving them answers, they are awake. Now, that awakening makes them understand that what they are holding in their wallets is what their birthright. People say TBC is my birthright, TBC is my birthright. I agree. Yes, TBC is your birthright. But how many people are aware that TBC is their birthright? Many of them are actually holding on, waiting for a magic to happen. I want you to know that TBC will not happen overnight. It's a slow rollout process that is currently going on now within the TBC community. I call it a slow rollout process because every day another Bitcoin bounty contest will come in. Sorry, not send, but another Bitcoin bounty contest, most likely Cambodia. Now, when this one's, is it Cambodia? I thought it was between Bangladesh and Cambodia, one of them. But the bottom line is one other Bitcoin bounty contest will come in. Now, as this Bitcoin bounty contest come in, look at, we have English, we have French, we have Tagalog, we have Hindi. And now these are heavy hitters. Very soon we'll have another one. And when we have another one, we are growing. It may look like we are not doing anything, but I tell you, we are making some steady and consistent progress. So then, let's move now into the topic full time. The topic that I said is broadcasters be aware of the wrath of the elites and also the wrath of the media. Now, in a short while from now, which is going to be 2020, we must have grown. It may be the first quarter, it may be the second quarter, it may be the third quarter, it may be the last quarter. I do not know. But you see, by the time the TBC broadcasters begin to grow in numbers, and I want you to also understand that I would want you to become a broadcaster, you that may be listening to me. You may be asking yourself, what does it take to become a broadcaster? I don't know how to broadcast. I didn't also know how to broadcast some time ago. But you see, I had this passion deep inside of me. And what was that passion? The passion is to see that humanity is free. What does it mean for humanity to be free? For you to wake up and say, okay, I think I should travel for a vacation for about 2 weeks. And then someone else asks you, please, could you help me with $1,000? There are a number of things I want to attend to. How many people can boast that they can freely give out $1,000? It's very, very difficult. That's the sincere truth. But in our TBC community, it is going to happen very shortly. Now, when this abundance begin to, come into this TBC community, and people are now beginning to enjoy this abundance, Do you think that the elites will see these things and then they would fold their arms? No. The elites has been online, just like they have spoken concerning Bitcoin. They'll begin to demonize TBC. But you see, if the TBC billionaires or the TBC broadcasters or the TBC full timers has not taken up that initiative to begin to tell the TBC community that these people are fighting us for a reason of wanting to free you out of their debt slavery system. What will happen is that the media will somehow overthrow the TBC broadcasters, because you already know that they have had several years of experience. Someone could go to school and spend 4 years doing media marketing. Someone could go and then learn journalism and a number of things. Those people are excellent. When they come in, they have some skillful ways of carrying out their investigation. And they have also an intelligent way of twisting the truth and then making it look like a lie. That is what they've been doing in the media over the past several years. Now, when you see the truth, they twist it to make it look like a lie. And then you, who is actually the audience, you will listen and you have a screwed idea about the real system. Now, I want you to understand that the TBC broadcasters are actually the life wires of this TBC community. The TBC broadcasters and also the TBC full timers. Because if the TBC broadcasters are not able to tell the TBC billionaires, sorry, the TBC community, the truth, and the truth should be the things that are in line with nature, then what will happen is that we will not have enough momentum to be able to rival the present system. So if you are listening to me, you may be a broadcaster, you may intend becoming a broadcaster. There are 1,001 people who are leaders in the TBC community. You can choose to align yourself to any of them you want. There are so many of them in Africa, there are so many of them in the Western world, there are so many of them in countries like India. So you can align yourself with whichever one you feel you can work with, which the one you feel your spirit aligns properly with. If you feel that it is the kind of religious people you want to work with, if you think you want to work with the smart guys, there are smart guys scattered all over within the TBC community who are broadcasters. There are people who can relate the reality of life with the events of the last days. If you are talking of such kind of broadcasters, then you can stick with people like me. Because I'm not just going to tell you about TBC, I'm also going to tell you about the present events that are taking place. And I'm also going to tell you about future events that will be taking place, which are events that want to enslave humanity. I want you to understand that the wicked ones are working to make sure that the bulk of humanity are held in this bondage. But the TBC community is coming to counteract their system. So many people are still confusing TBC. So many people are still thinking that this is the system that was prophesied in the Bible. So many of us are still thinking it, because when you look into it, it's very similar. But I want you to understand that an angel of light and an angel of darkness, they are also very similar, because an angel of darkness was once an angel of light, and he had fellowship with the things of light and understands the ways of light. But you see, it has learned how to twist the truth to make it look like it is actually the lie now looks like the truth. That is what an angel of darkness can do. But an angel of light will continue to shine as a light. And you may not know it the first day, you may not know it the second day, you may not know it the third day. After you have consistently fellowshipped, you begin to understand that you begin to channel and incline your mind to the things of good. You begin to channel and then like the right things. That is when you understand that you are doing or dealing with an angel of light. But when you are dealing with an angel of darkness, now let's come to think of it. How many times do you listen to news? After listening to news, how do you feel? You see the news, you see about wars, you see about rumors of wars, you see about Taliban, you see about terrorists. And when you finish listening to it, what you will say is, you will heave a sigh and say, oh, when will things get better? Now, what does the media actually do? They are programming your mind to think that the world is filled with negativity, evil, wickedness. But is that really the truth? You bear witness that that is not actually the truth. That there are so many good, wonderful things that the world is enjoying, and the media does not cover it. The media intelligently works on your mind to think that your neighbor is your enemy. They program your mind to think that your next door neighbor is the person that is witch hunting you. That's what the media will do. And now, when they find out that the TBC community has become formidable enough, strong enough, and is building towards a path that is moving to abundance, they will come out against us. Don't be surprised that they will tell all manner of things, all manner of false propagandas about TBC come 2020. Now, I want you to understand that as they are giving these informations, at least you can count on me to also counteract them. Now, another thing you should also know is that after they've given these informations and they have not been able to break us yet, do you know what would happen? Let me tell you what will happen. The elites will come out against us. Now, these elites, how are they going to come against us? It is simple. They are elites at every nooks and crannies of the world. They are going to redistribute their energy and then throw it down to the smallest, minute countries of the world, possibly third world countries. And they may begin to say that if anybody, now they are going to make use of the existing government, possibly that will be then, because they will see that if this system continues to grow and grow, it may become a potential threat. Now, the question I would want to ask you, now listen, TBC is to create an awareness, it's to create a conscious awakening. I want you to judge between these two matters. You see a system that is moving towards abundance. Now, let's say you are finished from your high school, you are finished from your university grade. Now, usually, as it was before, people finishing from universities, they already have a job waiting for them. Do you still experience such events? Well, in my opinion, such doesn't happen. There are so many people who are first class graduates that are out there. Let me be sure that I'm still live. Okay, yes, I'm still live. And a number of people are still watching me. So where was I? Wherever I was. It doesn't matter. I was saying something. Now, there are so many people who are first class graduates, and today they are still roaming the streets. The question I'll ask is, why are they roaming the streets? That's a very good question to ask. Why are they roaming the streets? They did their best. They read, they burnt the midnight candle. They came out as first class. But today, there are no jobs. People are literally making sacrifices. People are literally selling their bodies. Now, I'm not saying these things because it's out of the blues, it's unrealistic. You and I are seeing it. People are literally selling their bodies to get some jobs. And how much do they pay them at the end of the month? They could pay them about $25. They could pay them about $30. Okay, they pay them so well, $50. And you find out that they keep doing the same thing. Some of them do 4 jobs, 4 jobs. Well, I've actually run out of electric. Uh, Now in Nigeria, we do say they've taken lights. Now at my place of work, because currently I'm still at my place of work, and I usually shoot this video before I leave, and then I return back to my place of residence. Now my light has gone out. Now I've been saying this thing, I've been crying, I've been crying, I've been crying, I've been saying Ever since I've been a child, since I've had this broadcast just today, I've had 3 interruptions. Since I've been a child, up until now, we are still having power outages. That is to say that we are suffering so much in this Africa. And when we learn how to unite together and make a difference, that is when things will begin to happen. Okay? So let me just finish sharing my screen. Okay. Now I was talking about the people that are going to come against us. And the people that are going to likely come against us are going to be the existing system, the government system there. The government system will come up with so many kinds of policies, and those policies will be targeted towards trying to shut us down as a community. They are going to do everything humanly possible. One of the things which I envisage that they are likely going to do is that after they've seen that the TBC what do you call them, the TBC merchants has become so much every countries of the world. Now, the next thing they may do, they may decide to place bans and say people who are doing TBC, if they are caught, listen to me, this thing I want to say is very strategic. People who are involved in criminal private society, if they are caught, then they are going to face some serious penalties. Yes, they can go to that extent. Now, why are they doing that? I was talking about making judgments, judging between their system and our system. Now, if their system was a system that was reliable and efficient, why then are they fighting our system? We have made it very open and clear in the private notice, in our private notice, that we are not a terrorist organization. We have only chosen to go our own way. That is what we decided. And we have unanimously, as a community, said we have chosen to go our own way. That does not mean that we'll become a system that will be violent or do some things that are wrong. No, we are only having our own financial system, and we're having our own law system. We are being governed and we are being ruled based on the community system. Now, that does not mean that we wouldn't be submissive to the systems that has been laid down by the government in our countries. We would also be submissive to their own systems, as long as the system does not infringe into our own happiness, our own joy, our own peace of mind. But you already know that so many things are not as they say. They tell us policies, and those policies are directly pointing fingers into our eyes. Now, that is the sincere truth. And there is nothing we can do about it. Everybody just says someday it's going to get better. How much longer is it going to get better? How many of us are able to boast of saying every month we're able to get as much as $500? But I want you to understand that within the TBC communities, the full timers are making so much progress and they're making some money. These full timers are not just full timers, they are merchants. And some of them make in a week as much as $2,500. I am not here to begin to promote the full timers. I am here to particularly pay emphasis or attention on those ignorant ones. If you are here and you are an ignorant person, I want you to understand that individual size and teach you about the rudiments of TBC. Now, I want to stop at this point, but before I will conclude, I want you to understand that by next year, when the thing gets very heated, listen, when it gets very heated to the point where they are beginning to clamp down on full timers, they are beginning to clamp down on merchants, and now it looks like TBC may not be able to go forward, then I want to tell you that administration would not fold his hands and allow the systems to be overtaken by the existing financial system, by the elite system. No. Now, that is the reason why the admin is building what he's building here. Let me log out. Now, when you look at this system, you will see merchant location. Now, when it comes to the point where it becomes extremely difficult and the elites are trying to clamp down on the bulk of the Tibetians, because we are going to get there. The administration has been saying we are going to have a fight with the media system. We are not just going to have a fight with the media. We are going to have a fight with the government. When this fight will take place, I do not know. Now, it is not a fight for supremacy, but somehow it is going to be a fight to determine who and who will rule. Now, the system has been ruling over 100 years plus. I think I've shown it here. Since 1913, it has been ruling. Now, what has it succeeded in achieving so far? It has succeeded in achieving debts. It has succeeded in achieving poverty. It has succeeded in achieving a far variance between the rich and the poor. And our system has come to build the system to the way it ought to be. But we are going to do it in a private way. Now, like what I was saying, when it gets to that point where they are now trying to clamp down on us, once that happens, I want you to understand some law systems. Many of you are crying, many of you are complaining, many of you are saying that the admin is doing this, the admin is paying $25, that if you don't pay your $25, you won't have access to your Kringle cash. If you don't pay your $25, you won't be able to have full access to your wallet. Now, the admin knows that when they are trying to clamp down on us, please listen. When you are doing your registration, when you're doing your registration, let me pick this. When you're doing your registration, now it registers. I want you to check this particular thing. Where is it? Okay, okay, I think this is the first stage. Now, the second stage gives you about our terms and condition. When you click on terms and condition and you click on it, that terms and condition is actually talking about this particular place, our public notice. Now, in this our public notice, if you haven't read it, please remember that I said that the billionaires in the community are going to be those people who are very studious. So if you have not read these informations, please make time out to study it. Now, in these informations, when you go to the bank and they are told to open an account, you see, they give you a very long note of things to fill. And when you begin to fill it, they will tell you, okay, put your number here, put your name here, do this, do that, and then sign here. You see, some of the terms and conditions, you don't take your time to read it. But you see, many of us unknowingly enslave ourselves. And in that terms and condition that they've set down for us, they have told us that they are going to charge us on a monthly basis or possibly on a weekly basis. They have told us that for every transaction we make with our ATM cards, that they're going to charge us some amounts, which you may not like, but that is because they want our systems to succeed. Now, if you are in this system and you have read it, you should know that making agreements and ticking on I agree with the terms and conditions means that you abide by the rules that are governing this TBC community. And one of the rules that govern this TBC community is this. Number one, being a TBCian, if you are having a username and a password, okay, and you are able to log in by paying your admin fee, that clearly means you have agreed to grow the TBC community. That is one rule. Now, when it gets to the point where the elites may want to begin to clamp down because they may make it difficult for people to freely say, I am accepting Kringles. Yes, it can get to that point because there are so many things that has gone wrong over the years. When somebody wants to openly advertise on something and the elites will try to clamp down on them, today, a number of things has happened concerning incurable diseases. There are some people who have discovered these incurable diseases. After a short while, they take them out. After a short while, they eliminate them. Why? Because they want to make sure that the world continues to pay and pay heavily for their retroviral drugs. And they are making several billions of money from it. That is the reason why these diseases may never find cures. But I want you to know that in the event of time, all these things, there will be cures to it. Why would that be? Because the TBC community will grow to the point where they will literally be able to lift humanity out of poverty. And all these cures, all these incurable diseases, solutions will come in good time. Now, when it gets to that point, what the administration will likely do is to remove this merchant location and hide it inside this particular Kringle cash. So that if you are a merchant in the TBC community and you want to easily move around and do businesses, you may not necessarily need to show yourself on the public. All you just need to do is be in this login. When you log in and then you put in your username and password and it comes in, you will find out that there is a merchant location section. Now, if anybody that is a government official comes into that system, put in his username, put in his password, first of all, the person has has paid the admin fee. Now, since you have paid the admin fee, also agreed to promote the TBC community. Agreeing to promote the TBC community also means that you have also aligned yourself with the terms and conditions. Now, if in the court of law, you are now being prosecuted, the first question that whoever is involved will ask is, how did you know that I am a merchant within the TBC community? Now, the answer is because I logged into the Kringle Cash. Now, since you logged into the Kringle Cash, did you check the terms and conditions before you came in? If the person says, yes, I did, you say, okay, since you chose to align yourself with the terms and conditions, that means in your own way, you have also broken the law, because there is no reason why you are in agreement with a system that you are fighting. And if there are two intelligent lawyers that looks into it, you will know very well, because I cited an instance that when you are going to open an account, they do not tell you to read before you sign. What they just say is put down your name here, sign here, put your date here, sign here. And when you finish signing those things and you go back to your bank and ask, why are you charging me so much? The bank will say, but you filled the terms and conditions and you aligned yourself with it, you agreed. So therefore, you gave us the right to charge you. When it gets to the point where these elites will begin to fight TBC, I want you to understand that the administration will not fold his arms and allow this thing to work. No, the administration will build a system that is formidable to make sure that even these merchant locations may not be available anymore. Everything will be hidden inside the back office of the Kringle Cash, so that the big merchants will be there, the small merchants will be there, and institutions will also be there. Of course, you wouldn't know which institutions are accepting Kringles. If it gets to the point where the government are trying to clamp down on us, one thing I want us to know, because I've already taken so much time, I want you to bear this in mind, that there is nothing that is going to stop the TBC community. And for the next 1 year from now, I'm going to cultivate the habit of creating an aggressive awareness about TBC, so that those people who are not aware of TBC can be aware. And the last thing I want to say before I go is, please, this is not compulsory. I have actually taken it as an initiative. I have chosen to grow the TBC community. This is TBC Hydra Elites. It's a group, and it's a group that measures itself on TBC. So please, if you think you want to be part of us to grow the TBC community, so that you can get information with a group of people, share ideas. Now, you can also call my attention to it, and I can also add you to the group. Not necessary anyway, but then I think it's an easier way for us to keep close touch. Oh, my network has been so bad. Well, 56 minutes. Wow, I've said so much. Let me just quickly rush through. Good one. There, the broadcasting meeting was a good one. Yes, I agree. Hi, Augustine. Hello, Julie. And hi, Stephen. And good day, Mr. Augustine. Yeah, day. You've always been consistent in my broadcast. I know my broadcast has been off and on, off and on. It hasn't been consistent. Please, my apologies. I would make sure that next time it will be consistent. Okay? Yeah, hello, friend. My brother, I greet you. Good afternoon. Madam Okeke, good day. Okay, everybody is greeting. Good day, friend. And please, when do we get to 4 million members and above? I think it's our responsibility to build the TBC community. If we're able to build the community, then we'll get there. It's not something to ask, it's something to build into. Ademola, nice to be here. Yes, good to be here too. And please, how do we bring back peace into the TBC community? There is peace. I think there is peace in the TBC community. I suggest that the TBC admin and broadcasters should focus on bringing peace back. There is peace in the TBC community, my dear friend. Now, we were meant to get more than 16,000 members. We got yesterday. Okay, We were meant to get more than 16,000 members that we got yesterday with peace in the community. I think there is peace. I don't know why you're emphasizing so much on peace. We are having good peace in the community. Now, for us to win the media war and defeat the elites, we must have and maintain peace at all costs. Yes, we are having peace already. United we stand, divided we fall. I also agree. TBC is our birthright. Yes, that's why we must be united in TBC community. So we can fight together when the time comes. The admin must bring everyone together in love and peace as a leader so that we can speak with one voice. I agree with you. Now, this is the last one. Mr. Augustine, I must say that if admin can listen, in order to fight the one coming battle, he can secretly arrange with some well-known merchants who will accept our kringles. I've actually said this. I do not know if we're able to understand what I said. I said a time shall come when the elite will want to clamp down on us. When the elite would want to make sure that we do not have any breathing space again, because we are literally trying to bring down their system. When that time comes, you see this merchant location, it becomes a threat. If you are a merchant, they may want to come for you, because come to think of it, I'm actually taking out my time. I'm going to use Nigeria as a case study. Now, let's pick in Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Now, coming to think of it, these people here are growing by the day, and you see their numbers are there, their names are there. Now, the moment these people are made open, and then they are now seen as praise, I'll call them praise because all their informations are there. You can easily call them and say, okay, hello, I am from the EFCC, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Now, you say, I want to arrest you for this or that. Or I call you and say, I am from one organization or the other, one government-based organization. And then you say, I have seen you involving yourself in the criminal private society. I want to advise, if I continue to see you involving yourself in this system, then that means we are going to shut you down. We are going to come, we will arrest you. Now, when they begin to bring in, because that is the system that we've always known to be, when it gets to that point, most of these people will become afraid. Now, that is the reason why I said that when it gets to that point, the administration will remove this merchant location, so that if you are going to have access to these people, that means you have accepted the terms and conditions. Accepting those terms and conditions means you have chosen to align yourself with the terms and conditions that are in this public notice. Now, ignorance of the law is not an excuse, and these people know it. So for us to protect our own system, protect our privacy, what will happen is that we are, as much as possible, going to keep ourselves enclosed. So you see, paying this $25 is not negotiable. If we do not learn and feel comfortable with paying it, then that means in the other way, we are trying to say we do not want our TBC community to grow. All right, enough said on that. And I am looking forward to a time when I'm going to be able to influence the power system of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Because I do not like the fact that I'm making a live broadcast that the world are looking, or the world will look at, will watch, and I'm in darkness. Now that shows that we don't have a system that is consistent. We don't have a system that is reliable. These are one of the problems that we Africans are facing. But I believe that shortly, when TBC becomes massively adopted, it is you and I that will make this possible. I want you to work with me and let's see how we can achieve it. So I will stop here for today. If you have any concerns, feel free, call my attention, and I will attend to you. We are going to talk again by the grace of God on Wednesday, same time. Cheers and God bless you.